Good morning from Kabul, Afghanistan. I've been told by multiple people I really don't need to wear the niqab, but I feel that that's still a safety aspect I don't want to compromise. Maybe I'm being overkill, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to the Panjshir province today, and Panjshir province, from what I understand, is like a big river valley and one of the main places where they grow fruits in Afghanistan. Let's go check out Panjshir province. There will be a lot of driving around today, as well as a great deal of waiting. We'll get into that later. For now, I'm enjoying watching the cars stuffed to the brims with produce and people watching. Take a look at that massive line of people. My guide says they're all waiting for identity documents. That's a long line. We eventually stopped for fuel and a local snack. Food?
Bulani.
Bulani?
Yes.
What's in it?
Potato inside.
Okay. How much?
Chandas. 20.
Okay. Here we go. This is actually really delicious. The bread feels like it's cooked with a little extra oil. Potatoes are cooked with like a little bit of curry, and I feel like there's some cloves in there and a little extra spice or something. This is a really delicious snack. It's called birani. And my energy drink addiction continues to get fed, even in Afghanistan. The drive there is really pretty, but along the way we had to deal with the reality of what traveling through Afghanistan can be like, such as crazy drivers. Ooh. That made me nervous. And checkpoints. So we've been stopped by the Taliban twice in 100 yards, and they have taken my passport a couple times, taken pictures of it, asking me about my family. A little bit nervous with the presence. They're coming up with a bunch of guns and seeming very stern. I'm sure it's just a face that they're putting on, but their tactics are working. We're getting a police escort to go with us to make sure that we stay safe. So that's what we're doing right now, is we're sitting here waiting for the second checkpoint to be done. I was told filming police from this distance was okay, as we followed them for quite a while. Okay, they just explained the reason for all the crazy checkpoints and police escorts is so that way a repeat of Bamyan does not happen again. There is no safety issues that they know of, but they just out of an abundance of caution, they're taking those during the stretches that could theoretically be vulnerable to make sure nothing happens. And it's appreciated. Finally, we got a chance to stretch our legs and walk around without the police. It's been an interesting day so far. We've spent probably close to 3 hours of this day just dealing with Taliban checkpoints. Every time we go, we seem to have to stop for several minutes to hours. We left at 8 and we're supposed to be in Panjshir by 11, and it's 1 o'clock and we're still not to our first destination. So that's just something that when you come to Afghanistan, just be prepared that you might have to spend a lot of time waiting. But in the meantime, we're still waiting for another clearance. But we came to a little collection of Russian tanks, so let's take a look at what these are. They look more like artillery weapons, but still interesting to see. I don't know if you can tell, it looks like there's a little bird or a mouse nest in there. Absolutely beautiful here. The river's raging really loud. It's kind of a soothing accent. Oh, this one looks intact. Oh yeah, that's stuck. Yep. Funny thing is, those tires look new. We finally got our clearance to go to our first ruins, but I couldn't even film there. So we just ended up visiting the tomb of Macho Massoud, who was a very celebrated leader here, but he was very much against the Taliban. Back in the day, they had this big mausoleum and an area for families to come hang out and celebrate him. But unfortunately, since the Taliban took over, they have blocked it off and also forbid any sort of recording of it because they obviously don't care for him, and almost everyone is banned from going up there. So we were able to get a quick has some very, very pretty views of the valley here. We had to have the Taliban escort with us at the tombs, and he wanted a photo of us before we dropped him off in this village. It was well past time for lunch, and after dodging some goat and cow traffic, we ended up at a restaurant with an amazing ambiance. Go in here. There we go. Oh my goodness, how cool is this? We have a private dining suite here, so I don't have to wear that niqab, which feels so good. I'm so hot right now. I ordered charcoal grilled lamb with bread. Wonderfully simple meal. Take off a piece of bread. Take off a piece of meat. Something gracefully like that. And then you eat it. The meat is very, very simple. It's got a nice charcoaly taste to it. It's got a little bit of fat in there. It really, really goes well with the bread. It's actually very, very tasty. Really enjoy this meal. That was delicious. There you go. Far too soon, we were back on the road for more long driving with a couple nice stops. This is by and far the most tight security place I've ever visited. The checkpoints they take very, very seriously, as evidenced by hours behind schedule to get checked out. I get it, and I appreciate it. At the end of the day, you know darn well for sure that there's no ISIS around here, just the Taliban. You can't really ask for more than that when you're visiting here. This really is quite a lovely place here. Our last stop of the day was for a tasty treat. This is an ice cream shop. All sorts of sitting areas. Oh, this hits the spot. As much as this does. This is called shidiyat flavor, and I don't know what exactly is in there. I want to say there's cardamom. I don't know what it is, but this is delicious. It's a very unique, very, very savory. It's like a seedy herb kind of flavor, and it's absolutely delicious. Very, very exotic. Then we had over an hour still to get back through the Kabul traffic. We made it. We have made it back. And that's quite a bit of traffic we went through, and from what I understand is probably one of the worst experiences for going through checkpoints that my guide has had with his guests. I don't know why today was so stringent. Interesting little holdups, but we're getting through. We talked to the Taliban today, and they didn't ask too many invasive questions, which I'm grateful for. I knew they were around, but pretty heavy when it actually comes to your having to interact with them and talk to them. And that's something I knew was a possibility, but that actually happened today. It's a really heavy thing, at least I think so. But, it was a positive experience in that, nothing bad happened. My guide did a great job keeping me safe. My driver did a great job, navigated the crazy Afghani traffic. Absolutely beautiful up there in the Panjshir province. I'm glad we went. Hope you enjoyed this really small video. We had a lot of driving today, so not a whole heck of a lot to share, and we got delayed a lot because of the checkpoints, but hey, at the end of the day, no issues with the Taliban, and definitely no issues with ISIS causing us problems. So thank you very much to the people that made sure that I stayed safe today. All right, have a good night.